Good evening, tribe. How are we? Friday night. Okay, short and sweet message today. Crossing the finish line. This is what I'm talking about for real. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people ask me these questions quite often. They'll ask me how, anybody who's been tracking with me has watched, I moved the kids across the country to where I had no family, no friends. I went through a divorce. I started dating again. And even before then, there was event after event after event. Hi, Danielle. Purchasing a new home, all these kind of things. So, I'll hear clients come to me sometimes and it's perfect. I love when they come to me about this because this is exactly where they should be, is coming to me about this kind of stuff. But they'll come to me and they'll be like, well, this and this such a thing is going on in my life, and so it's really hard for me to show up in this. And it's perfect because I remember when I was that girl showing up to someone being like, well, I can't because I got in a fight with my boyfriend and, my son got in trouble at school and I'm just worn out and I can't show up. Is that what it takes for us to, is that all it takes for us to not live our purpose? Do you know what I'm saying? Most of us have pretty epic excuses that work pretty well. So it was a journey to learn to develop the mindset of always crossing the finish line. And here was the quote that did it for me. I mean, obviously it was a combination of things before then, but the quote that did it for me was, I don't even know what the exact quote is, and I don't know who said it, but the idea was falling down right before the finish line. Literally the vision in my head of the finish line is right there. I just ran this massive race, 26-mile marathon, and the finish line is right there. And then I collapse right here. And you see it happen all the time. It's a psychological phenomenon. It's really incredible. You'll see it whether it's, something like building a business, building an online community, that kind of stuff, all the skills that go with that. And right before they, I can see, because I've walked this out already and I've gone through so many layers of scaling. I will watch clients and I will watch people. I'll watch people in the community. I'll hear stories people will share with me, and I'll watch them, and I know they're at a crossroad, whether it's the first, second, third, fourth, fifth one, doesn't matter. They're at the crossroad and I'm watching them. I got eyes on them. Okay, I see you, girl. All right, I see you, guy. And they're standing at the crossroad, and it's they've been, especially if they're at the second, third, fourth crossroad in their business, where it's I can't tell you how many times I went deep into debt to be able to scale to that next level, but it never matters, because when I was $100,000 in debt, which felt terrifying, absolutely terrifying, when I look back at that, $100,000 is no big deal, right? It's $100,000 doesn't matter anymore. Hi, Marlene. How are you, sister? If you're on the replay, let's do hashtag crossing the finish line. That's too far. Hashtag finish line. That's what we're doing tonight. Hashtag finish line. Failure at the edge of breakthrough, 100%. It's so common. Now, I've seen it with physical athletes, right? Because I used to be a runner, and I grew up playing sports, basketball, baseball. I played everything, you name it, highly. So it's this very common thing you'll see with athletes. So people will train and train and train and train and train, and then they will get hurt right before the Olympics, or they'll collapse right before the finish line. And it's this, it's a real psychological thing. And I don't think that everybody understands. Hi, Saya. I don't think people get that that's a big part of building your business, right? I had mentioned this before, but clients will come to me and they'll feel the sense, especially if they're doing one-on-ones, they've invested with me. I have 2 spots for one-on-ones left, by the way, if y'all are interested. So I'm on one-on-ones with them, we're talking, and they have this sense of frustration because they're I don't want to spend the time talking about this thing. This is annoying that I have to waste my time on this. And I chuckle because I'm I remember saying that myself. I remember being the girl saying that. But now I chuckle because I'm okay, honey, this is the business coaching. This back-end stuff, so we don't crap out before the finish line, so we don't hyper-focus on the one thing. Okay, Mandy, I did an entire week of Facebook Lives and I'm not Oprah Winfrey. Well, what the hell is going on? I know somebody is gonna, okay, just go ahead, take your photos, because I'm gonna get a bunch of photos of these in my inbox now, because my clients are hilarious. The tribe likes to have me having pictures of and they send me photos of me making crazy faces all the time. Facebook likes to capture it too. Who am I kidding? It's not just my amazing clients, it's also Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. They do it all the time. It's always the most horrible faces. Hi, Jennifer. I'm glad you're on live as well. Oh yeah, so what are we doing? Hashtag finish line if you're on the replay. If you're new to me, please say hello. Let me know this is your first time, or that you're new to the community and tribe. Let me welcome you. I'll sort of give you an overview. I'll lead you to the free Facebook group we have, and I'll come love on you and learn your name. Yeah, and if you're my friend and you're my tribe, I'll say holla. Holla Friday! It's Friday, ain't got to do. Yes. Okay, where were we? Okay. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, right? Or like you heard that nobody could run the mile, a 4-minute mile, and then one person did it, and then all of a sudden within the next year, it was like, 26 or 27 people had done it because it's a psychological thing. Well, it's the same with actually being able to handle the tension and pressure right before the breakthrough. So a lot of times what happens is people will actually feel like, oh my God, I screwed up. I did bad. I shouldn't have invested. I didn't make it happen. I thought it was going to happen by now. And it never looks like what we thought it was going to look like, right? However, yes, I made a whole page of the shitty Facebook catches me in the intro video. That's hilarious. Oh my God. I'm surprised somebody hasn't made it of my faces. It's Saturday today? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you, Danielle. Happy Saturday. Ain't good shit to do. Yes, it is Saturday. That's right. Yesterday was a hell of a day, so we'll just pretend that didn't just happen. Okay, so what? Yes, it was yesterday for sure. We're just gonna pretend yesterday did not happen. Yesterday was. You know what though? Honestly, when I have the world's worst days, which is the topic we're talking about right now, crossing the finish line, or like when I had days like yesterday. So oftentimes in my business, like I'll build momentum and there's like a buzz going on and there's, a lot of clients reaching out and my clients are having breakthroughs, and then some big thing happens on the back end that I have to deal with. Now, when I first started my business, I would think, oh, I bit off more than I could chew. Just what I was just talking about. If I would invest, let's say I invested, $20,000 in something like this professional video that I made one time. I think I paid $11,000 for it, whatever. And then I flew there and I had to pay for the flights and I had to pay for the traveling and the hotels and everything like that. So it ended up being something like $15,000, right? And then I never even used the video because I didn't like the video. So because I was in the middle of transitioning and I sort of was mixing both voices together and it didn't even work, right? So a lot of people will come to me and ask, like, how did you do it, Mandy? Like, how did you get married, get divorced, start dating again, move your kids across the country, move the entire business, so the legal stuff, everything all had to get transferred, new doctors, new dentists, new kids, friends, new everything, not having family or friends here. Like, it's just, and then, anybody who really knows me knows the epic levels of shit that go on the back end, coming from the, life that I come from, and loving the people that I love. It's just a lot of stuff that goes on. Both my kids are diagnosed with ADHD. There's a lot of stuff. They both got 504 plans at school. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. A lot like the most of us. However, I feel incredibly blessed that those things don't stop me anymore, because like yesterday, when this really huge thing happened, I sort of just shut everything down, let myself focus on that. It's very rare that has to happen, but that had to happen yesterday. And normally there would be some kind of story like, oh, like the fear of like, okay, the momentum is slowing down now. See, here's this big thing again. Like, where was I off? That's what I used to do. So I used to think if I made an investment and it didn't work out, I screwed up. Like, this is bad. I'm going to like fall all the way backwards and I'm going to, like I went too far. I finally did it. I finally screwed everything up. Right. So, and I will watch clients get to this place and I will watch them. And I will watch either they've invested a lot and they haven't had the breakthrough yet. They're right there. They're getting to that finish line. They're at that crossroad. The tension's on them. What are they going to do? I don't rescue people, right? I'm just going to keep calling you and showing you and be an example for you and doing stuff like this, right? Talking about, okay, yesterday was literally the worst day ever. And I used to have stories that would kill my momentum, but now it's just like, no. Because you know why? Here's the deal. Because I believe that I'm worthy enough. Imagine this, if we could all just believe that we were worthy enough that if something really big like that happens in my life, that I get to take the day off to go focus on that, and that my tribe will love me and be incredibly, open and patient and kind and generous with my time with me. If there's something I need to reschedule, if something got missed, that they're generous and loving to me. That I actually believe I'm worthy enough to have people be generous and loving to me when I deal with something difficult. And I also believe that I don't need an escape from life. I believe that if I really need an escape or if I really need some pressure to be off of me, that I just get to choose that. And that's it. And that I always have the opportunity and resource around me, and I will always continue to have the resource and opportunity around me, where if something's feeling like I'm about to quit, that I'm going to reach out and I'm going to scream it from the rooftops, basically, right? I'm not going down like that. I am not going down like that, right? You will see me on the mountaintop going, I'm about to quit. Do you know how many times I've gone to my coaches and be like, all right, girl, I'm coming in hot, right? Like, I am coming in on fire. I am blazing right now. And I'll just come in like this is what's happening. Bam, this is going on. That's going on. This didn't work. And I forgot about this thing. Blah, blah, blah. And I screwed this up. And this happened to my family. And this happened with my kids. And this happened with the divorce. And this happened. And then I found out this. And now they're coming after my business. And blah. Right? Like, I'm coming in hot. But guess what? I'm coming in swinging. I'm still swinging. I ain't going down not swinging. Right? Like, that'll be the day. That'll be the day. I might go down. Not going to say I'm never going down. But I ain't going down quietly. That's for damn sure. I'm taking everything that I can reach with me. Mountains are coming with me. Skies are coming with me. Stars are coming with me. They're all coming with, like, the whole universe is coming with me if I'm going down, right? And that's just a sense of worthiness. Honestly, it's just a story of worthiness. I've just done the work. I've come from a girl feeling this way as I'm approaching the end of 2019. Is it Saturday? I feel the same way. Who knows I did? Yeah, well, I think I really do get the days often mixed up, but that's the life of an entrepreneur because all the days are the same to me. The only difference is if the kids are in school or not. So it's kind of funny. So I have a story. I've done the work having come from a girl who was feeling completely unworthy, like I always owed something or always had to run to keep up with regular people. Like, everybody else is just kind of walking and enjoying, and I'm like sprinting, like, what the hell? How am I just keeping pace with this person who's just trotting along? That's what it used to feel like for me. And anything that came up felt like a huge can of worms that was going to tip me over the edge. That's how it always felt. And those feelings try to come back. So when stuff happens, they're there, like they're like little haunters, like they just haunt you, haunters. Yeah, they're haunters. And they'll just be like, rah, 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 like trying to scream in your ear and freak you out. But I've just learned to be like, dismissed. You are dismissed. Go play, children. Go play hunters, right? Because I know, like, oh yeah, this is just life. This is what it is. Shit happens. Bad days come. Crazy events happen. People die. We screw up badly. We fail miserably sometimes. We get moody. We have our period. We go through breakups. We go through divorces. We get married. We move. We sell houses. We purchase houses. We lose our jobs. Our friends and family lose our jobs. People get depressed. People attempt suicide. People actually commit suicide. We have pets that die. We have places that we travel to and vacations that we go on. Business slows down. We check out for a little bit. We screw up and check out for a little bit. We don't tell the truth. We don't pull in the resource that we needed and then we backtrack. We pull in resource that we needed and we freak out the whole time instead of actually settling in and learning what we need to. And we're always tempted to quit. We're always tempted to scare the shit out of ourselves with some kind of story around us. However, the standard gets to be, I will never quit right before the finish line. And my newest favorite line, I will not quit so long as I don't quit today. Like, just don't drink today. The AA slogan. I can drink. I'll drink for the rest of my life. Just don't drink today. And then I wake up tomorrow. I can drink tomorrow. But just don't drink today. We will not quit as long as we don't quit today. And we are not the kind of people that quit right before the finish line. It's not even possible that we decide I'm doing this until I have breakthrough and that it just might never happen. It just might never happen for me. Right? Like, I literally have some incredibly powerful people that I coach, like really powerful people that inspire the shit out of me. Their energy is contagious. They're just these epic, powerful people. And I will watch them begin and be like, what if I can't do this? And there's a part of me that's like, oh, come on. Like, do you see yourself? And then I instantly catch myself. I'm like, oh, no, they don't. Great question, Mandy. They don't see themselves. I wish I could have a mirror and just follow them around in their life and show them every time that they showed up powerfully and every time they got themselves through that tough thing and every time they grew to that next level and learned this thing and pulled it in and helped that person and screwed up and brushed themselves back off and cried their way through something and woke up feeling flat and depressed and miserable because their money stories are way off or because they, have arbitrary rules that someone put on them that they haven't worked out or haven't worked through and they're not locked into their passion and the thing that's going to actually get them to move and feel propelled moving forward instead of having to feel like we're pulling ourselves, ripping ourselves through lives. This is the work, and that's the work we're doing Life on Fire. Really, that's the work we're doing because that's really actually the thing that creates the Life on Fire. So I have actually come to the place where I understand that days like yesterday, this is why I forgot. What I was going to say was days like yesterday have turned into this for me. It used to be evidence that I'm fucking shit up or that the sky is falling or that I knew everything was going to go sour somehow. It can't stay this good. That's for damn sure, right? I was definitely like, what's the next terrible thing that could happen? I had so many horrible things that happened to me, like wildly horrible things that happened to me when I was a kid, that I created a pattern of belief that if it could happen out there, it will happen to me. So even like, I remember, oh, okay, this is kind of a funny story. I went into a haunted house one time, my ex will tell you, and I kind of thought it was going to be like sheets with little like heads, and like it was tied here, and they were going to be tied to the ceiling, and maybe there was going to be like ooh music in the background, and like there was going to be like sheets swinging from the ceiling, kind of like they used to do at church when I used to go to church for the kids. So I went into this haunted house. Well, that's not what it was. It was people jumping out of walls and black like screen TVs with like zombie people, and people touch you and grab you, and I completely lost my shit. And I literally tried to rip walls down, and I screamed, and Craig had to grab me and like ripped through the building to get me out of it. It was really bad. It was so bad. Like I completely lost my shit and literally tried to tear the walls down and would have started swinging at people, because there was a pattern inside that believed like, you just took me into something, and my belief back then was if it could happen anywhere, it could happen to me. And it likely will, because all of that horrible shit did when I was a kid, over and over and over and over, when I watched other people it not happen to them, right? So if I was the one that it kept happening to, there just somehow became a belief, if it could happen, it will happen to me, right? So coming from that place, if that's the pattern, then when anything bad happens, it's like, yeah, of course, or anything that happens bad to someone else, we sort of start to believe like, oh, that could happen to me. So if we take that kind of stuff, or any variation of it, there's about 7 million variations of the same thing, and we take that into our business, and then all of a sudden we invest in something, and we say, that's it, I'm doing this, I'm doing it, and we put a whole group together, and we invest $10,000, and we got our offer, and we're showing up, and we're doing daily Facebook Lives, and nothing. Not one penny. People are like me in the haunted house. They just start ripping walls down. They just start screaming and flipping out and be like, ah. If it could happen, it would happen to me. Why me? Why would I be one of the ones that break through? Why would this happen for me? And we start flipping out. And really, the only thing that's happening is there's evidence and proof that there's a little bit, that you're at point A and you're trying to get to point B, and there's a little bit more to go. But you're going to get to point B. You're going to have the breakthrough. It's going to happen. Now imagine, just imagine, if I was in that haunted house and I had stopped and looked at Craig and noticed everybody around me was kind of calm, someone who had done this before, and wondered why he was calm and why was he okay. I like, just for 1 second, just stopped and like, be like, okay, wait, why is he calm? Why is he okay? What else is possible here? And I had the wherewithal in the moment to calm down and use the actual energy that I had in the moment to figure out what was actually happening. And then I would have actually realized, oh, this is fake and the people aren't going to hurt me. And actually the people working there were trying to calm me down, but I was flipping out so bad that they couldn't. I just was trying to kill them because I thought they were trying to kill me. And this is what people do, and I will watch my clients do this. I'll watch them start losing their shit. And I did too. There's no judgment. Girl, I know you're gonna lose your shit. It's okay. I lost my shit. I sat in the middle of the kitchen just bawling and crying. And I remember crying so bad that there were snots all over my rug and my hair and the rug, and everything was all snots and all tears all put together. And I got up and I choked on my own hair. I remember flipping out and losing my shit so many times, and it's okay. But what we will not do is quit before the finish line. And this is the work, and this is the call to action for tonight. The way that you get to the place, the people I watch, there's a few different things that I watch and I see. So I can kind of at this point predict the clients that are going to push through. There's some people that I'm not sure, they're on the line. I have a couple of those right now. And then there's other people I am so 100% sure they're going to make it. I don't know when, I don't know if they're going to do it with me, but I can spot them a mile away and I'm like, that person's going to make it 100%. Right? And then there's people I'm just like, I don't know. I can predict when people are going to quit. I don't think the person's necessarily going to quit, but I can predict when they're going to quit. And it's right before the finish line. And it's very easy to see from anybody who's walked this out. Anybody who's ahead of you in the game, even people who are a couple steps ahead of you, they can look back and tell you what's coming. And they can tell you, well, here's that, you're at a crossroad right now. You're going to push through or you're not. And here's the thing that helped me as well, right? Like I remember having mentors who said to me like, oh, I remember when I was here, or, you're right on track, Mandy, some variation of that. That's my languages, but they said some variation of the same thing, right? And so I often will tell my clients like, Carly, you're right on track. Like that was exactly what happened to me. This is exactly where I was. That's exactly what it looked like. But there's work to do between where you are and where you want to be. There's a little more work. Okay, you want the result, but you wanted it on step 1. Well, oh, too bad. You didn't get it on step 1. I don't know if you're going to get it on step 6, 7, 8, or 9, but you're going to get it. Now, if we could just calm down enough and put ourselves in containers and arenas and around people who are the calm ones while we're flipping the fuck out. We look at like, oh, why is that person so calm? Like, why isn't she worried that this is going to all go bad? And we start actually checking in with that and being like, okay, what if this is just a moment of tension? And what if the actual work was for me to learn to be able to handle tension better and pressure better? What if actually I desire and long to be a human being who handles pressure with grace, and I can lean into that chaos, and I can sort of like there's a big storm and all this, everything's breaking down around me, like you're walking through the haunted house and you're that calm person who walks through and someone jumps out and you just sort of smirk and you keep walking. I don't understand those people in haunted houses, but I understand those people in business. Now if I could just take that business skill into the haunted house, that'd be fantastic. But I'm never going in a haunted house ever again for the rest of my entire life. It'll never happen. My sister has a video of me crying in a haunted house. It's not happening ever again. So the work is for us to hashtag JCTFD. My templates people can tell you what that means. Just calm the fuck down. Breathe, girl. Relax. What if in this moment where you're at this crossroad and that finish line is right up there, you can't see it just yet, you're in that day 2 where you're too far to go, you're not going back, but you can't see the finish line yet and you're just freaking out like how much longer is there? I get it. We've all been there. Mine was very ungraceful. You're allowed to be ungraceful as long as you keep on going. There's no quitting. We do not quit. We cross that finish line, end of story. And the work is for you to actually be in full surrender to what it is right now, and it's going to take what it's going to take, and it's going to look like what it's going to look like. Is everything okay right now? Can you put food on the table for your kids right now? Do you have other resources to be able to have income coming in? Can you put it on a credit card? Can you get through one more month? Because that's actually what it looks like in the entrepreneur field. It actually often, you'll go through phases of it looking like, I'm going to max everything out. I'm going to put myself 100K in debt. But guess what? 6 months later, you made that 100K in 1 month. You made 84K in 1 day. Do you think that 100K mattered when you make 84K in a day? Nope. It didn't matter. I think I have a piece of the wrapper from my throat lozenge. It didn't friggin' matter. And I know this is going to be triggering to some people, but that's what it actually looks like. And I remember I used to be scared to say this kind of stuff because I'm like, who's going to do this if they actually know what it's like? No, everybody here will do it because I don't know why I thought that back then. But that's what it actually feels like. It actually feels like, yeah, you're going to invest a lot more than you feel safe investing. And you're going to go further than you feel like going. And you're going to say things that feel way past what you feel comfortable saying. And you're going to own your shit like you're an expert at what you feel more comfortable owning, and you're going to give yourself credit for more than you remember to give yourself credit for, because we're going to celebrate and expand, because what we focus on expands. And then we're going to call our tribe to that same place we just walked ourselves through. We're going to go, and on the back end we're going to do that hard, tough, brutal sometimes work that gives us everything that we're longing for. And then everyone's going to say, how the hell did you do it? And then you're going to say, come here, let me show you this way. Let's go, sister. The standard is here. Let's go. I'm calling you to it. That's what it looks like. And it's not easy. And I can't even tell you how many times I have now recognized, like, wow, I just had 3 hell months. Like, why wasn't I freaking out? Like, oh yeah, because I don't freak out in the haunted house no more. They're just boogeymen. They're not real. And we get to just calm down and breathe and relax and be like, okay, cool. I can't tell you how many of my clients are like, but you don't understand, Mandy. I invested in this and I invested in this, I invested in this, and I still haven't had the breakthrough. Yeah, you and everybody else. That's what it looks like. I don't know why. I don't know. This is what our journey looks like. Like, our work is our work. For some people, they have this magical love life in the back end and the perfect family, and they cannot make that money in the beginning. And for other people, the money comes in, but they can't get the relationship right and the love, and they're lonely and they're frustrated and whatever other variation in between. Some people have physical sicknesses and ailments. Some people have spiritual like holes, and they're just like desperate to figure out what they believe and what is their connection with higher power and what is their bigger purpose and why are they even doing this. And like, everybody has their struggle. Not one is easier than the other. I can promise you that, because money doesn't solve all your problems. It just solves the money problems. That's it. It doesn't solve anything else. It doesn't make your family act different. It can't heal your brothers and sisters. It can't make your kids magically better. It can't heal your spiritual holes. It can't mend your broken heart. It can't give you epic friends that show up and do life with you. It can't give you clients that engage with you and have massive transformation. It can't bring any of those things. The money is such a small piece of it. And we just get to have that as a byproduct of putting the rest of it in alignment. And this is why I created Life on Fire, literally, because this is the stuff that matters. We are going to go deep into the stuff that truly matters. Why are you doing this? What is your passion? What is your heart? What is the thing that would make you be like, there's no chance on God's green earth I would ever not do this. It's not about getting paid. I'm not doing this to get paid. I know that I'll be taken care of as life supports life. As I show up and live my biggest, most powerful self, I make decisions from the greatest, wisest part of me. It only makes sense that I would naturally be wildly successful on the other side of that, but that's not why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because it's who I am. It's who I envision myself to be. This is who I am. This is my calling. This is when I look back on my life, this is what I'll be so proud of myself for showing up and doing. This is my voice. This is who I'm here to serve and help, the healing and the legacy and the freedom and the traveling and the fun and the friendships and the bonding and the connection and all of it. This is what I'm meant to do. My writing, my videos, my voice, the books, the stage presence, whatever it is. There's a purpose that you have called to, and when you lock into that, you will become completely unstoppable. It is what it is. It is what it is, what it is, what it is. The hesitation or the even the remote possibility that you would fall down before the finish line is so unthinkable, it's not even funny. It's laughable. Like at this point in my life, it's laughable that I would fall down before the finish line. The real truth, this is going to sound like bragging, but I don't care because it's not bragging. It's my way of loving you. So if somebody takes it as bragging, I'm going to hold you accountable for that, and you can manage that yourself. I'm going to love on you really big for a second and tell you the truth about something. When I come to that cross line, which I now know, right? I can feel it. I know. I'm like, oh, I'm at that cross line again, right? So I'm at that crossroads, and there's that finish line right up ahead, and all the tension is on, and I'm going to that next level that I've never been to, and if I feels like every other level feels like I'm going to screw this up royally. I can't do this, right? That's what it feels like, and thank you. And so there I am, and I will do the opposite of what most people do. So most people will kind of clench. I will literally be like, oh, okay, Mandy, so you think that it's hard to scale to consistent 100K months? Okay. You know that tough 60K month that you had, like, oh, I don't know if I could hit 60K. You're going to take that 60K and you're going to invest it. And you're going to start from zero, and then you're going to hit that 100K month. And if you want to bitch about the 100K month, then we're going to go for 200K, and you're going to make it happen. So can we stop playing like this is hard now? Right? Like, this is what comes out when you start actually living by purpose. Like, for me, money is a measurement of how well I love my people, how well I'm locked into my purpose, because I can promise you this. There is nothing on earth that would get me to show up to the level that I show up in for money. I know that money is so great and it's wonderful and I love what it brings to me, but I don't give a shit about it. I give a shit about the life that I get to have, the experiences I get to have. I love that the money results help other people see that it's possible for them. There's so many things I love about money, but I am certainly not going to show up powerfully and massively and consistently in my life, put myself through the things that I go through at these crossroads and the level of pressure and tension that I go through for money. And neither are you. Newsflash. We have to get our money stories and our impact vision in alignment with our purpose and our deepest longings and the things that light us on fire, the things that light our heart on fire, our soul on fire, and our entire life on fire so that we are unstoppable. When you get those two in alignment, that is when it's just like, bah. It's unbelievable. And the fire you feel inside. Why are the most powerful people often feeling bored? Because of this right here, exactly what we're talking about. Because there's a story in my head, like here I am, this powerful human being with this deep calling and this purpose and this fire inside of me. And I show up and the story I tell myself, like the story I'm contending with, like, is like, hi, my name is, you have to make 30K just to pay your bills this month. Go along now and go do that. And this fiery person is like, huh? It's like just dumping water on the fire, just like psh, 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 little steam poof, like poof, poof. And that's how you feel. You feel like a watered down dish rag with poofs of poof. Steam is what I was going for. Poofs of steam around you, and you're just like, I'm like, why? How is she so lit up? And why is she showing up so big? And how do they always have all these creative ideas and such powerful stuff to stay on Facebook Lives? And these questions that people ask all the time. I'm like, oh, I get it. I remember asking those questions. I didn't understand. It just never made any sense to me. I was like, I just don't get it. It's like every sentence she say is brilliant. And I just didn't understand. And I remember when my clients first started me asking those questions, I was like, no way. I'm not that girl. I don't say powerful things like that. You don't even recognize it. It's like the frog boiling in the water, only the boiling water is amazing. It's really amazing. And it really stems from you actually having a deep conviction and purpose in alignment with your values and your vision and the impact you're ready to create in the world in alignment with your money stories. because that's the energetic trade in this culture. So it has to be in alignment. And I hate the word alignment, but that's what it actually is. It's really like congruent. They need to be congruent so that when your alarm goes off in the morning and you go to wake up, what you feel is massive levels of excitement and power and wide open to the amount of receiving that's going to happen in this journey. And the beliefs of your worthiness are the foundation of that. Your beliefs of what's possible for you, the foundation of that. But the habit of building yourself into the human being who can handle the pressure when you're right before the finish line is a big deal. It's a really big deal. And I can't tell you how heartbroken I am when I see people fall there, but I'm also like, I have fallen there before and I needed that then and it served me and I got to where I am now and I'm going to watch that person come back into their power, and I know it because I know we all have the level of power that we need to walk out our purpose. That's intrinsic in us and nobody can take that away. Nobody can say, oh, magically you're not worthy of your purpose now because you fell before that finish line. That's not a real thing. You will always have the opportunity to still walk out your purpose in your life. I was taught something a little bit different when I was a kid, and I know that's not true because I've been through it. I've screwed everything up massively in my life, and yet still here I am living my purpose. And I've watched clients do it over and over and over. I've watched peers do it. I've watched mentors do it. It is what it is. It can't get taken away from you. You really just get to chill. You get to relax. And then here's the question. The real question is like, what do you desire now? Now that you know you're safe, it's all good. The only question we ask ourselves is, what do I desire? What program do I desire to be in? What mentor do I desire to be with? What room do I desire to be in? What friendships do I desire to have? What voice do I desire to bring to the table? What container do I desire to hold for my clients? What energy do I desire to bring to the table? Like, it's it. That's it. The only question. I'm telling you, this is so powerful what I'm telling you. I remember how long it took me to be able to hear this, and I don't know where everybody's at on their journey. I don't know if you can hear me, what I'm saying right now, but I'm telling you the most powerful question you could ask yourself and back, which feels so reckless, I know, but it's not. It's not. The only reckless thing you could do is not really ever try and give it 100%. Because according to the people that are on their way out of this planet, the number one most painful thing on the planet was caring too much what people thought and being afraid to fail and never really going for it. Your full dream, not some small little variation of your real dream, the whole thing. Millions of people on a stage, feeding hundreds of thousands of children. Whatever it is, what is your dream? What is your dream life? If you don't know, okay, great. Well, then get yourself into the group coming up, because we are going to lock that in like nothing before. We are going to lock that in all the way down to every cell in our entire body. We are going to lock this in so that those things before that you used to have resistance, like, I don't know how to do this, or how about this one? This was a big one for me. How about you're going to stop throwing money at shit? And being like, maybe this will be the magical pill, and if I just do this magical funnel, then everything will be easier. If I just do this magical ad, then everything will be easier. If I just, do enough of these free webinars or enough of these programs that are all about all these different things, I'll finally be able to figure it out. No, the only thing you ever needed to do is to trust yourself and ask yourself what you desire, lock into that shit, right? Like one of the calls I had with my client the other day, she was beating herself up because she had invested in all these different programs. Now this girl made tons of money. She was a super badass in a different field. Now she's doing coaching. She's still one of the most incredible people I know. She inspires the shit out of me every single day. I love being in her energy. It's amazing. And she's one of my VIP clients. And she was talking, like judging herself and beating herself up because she had taken all these programs. And I was like, you weren't failing because you took all these programs and not where you want to be. You were giving yourself what you desired. What you desired. You just get to have what you desired. All along you've given yourself what you desire, but maybe what we desire now is different. What I desired before was massive amounts of things, hoping that it would fix something, but I outgrew that. I just simply outgrew it. I outgrew it, and that didn't work anymore. Now I'm looking for something real. Something that's like something that I can lock into about who I really am, what I'm here to do. This is my passion. This is my purpose. This is the impact that I'm leaving, and I'm doing it until there is no stopping me. And I know every person ahead of me is telling me, okay, get around the people that have done it, the people who have the energy and the impact and the lifestyle that you desire and long for, and then get close to those people, learn what they did, listen to them. Stop being so hesitant to listen and doubting and thinking, well, there's something special about them. No, everybody ahead of you is telling you there's nothing special about me. If I can do this, anybody can do it. If one person can, if just one person out of all of us can do it, that means all of us can do it. And history has proven that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So whatever bullshit excuse is coming up for you as to why it can't be you, you get to dismiss it. It's not real. I mean, it's just another boogeyman in the haunted house. That's it. Why not you? Why not you? Why can't it be you that leaves the massive impact, that has massive abundance and wealth, that has total freedom, that creates the lifestyle for her children? Why not you? That makes no damn sense. Of course it's you. It was always you. You wouldn't feel called to it if it wasn't you. And we are not going to quit before that finish line. So if you're feeling like you're ready to lock into that deepest purpose, get a real clear vision of your impact and your voice and what you're bringing to the world, and you're ready to work through your shitty money stories and boundaries and the things that stop us from walking it out, and you're ready to start feeling that fire inside of you, and you're ready to look those crossroads and that finish line dead in the eye and be like, I got this, there ain't no stopping me now, then Life on Fire is for you. That is the intention in Life on Fire. I literally can't teach you anything more powerful than this, because nobody can touch you when you know how to do this. I know this, right? Like, I'm saying a lot of things tonight. That's okay. I'm just going to say the things because that's what I do. Someday I'm going to stop saying that too, and I'm just going to say them without feeling the need to say that to warn people that something crazy is about to come out of my mouth. However, so I know that there's an air of untouchability around me. And I've known that for a little while. I guess didn't give myself permission to look at it because, people would tell me I'm intimidating, and I don't like that. By the way, I don't like being called intimidating. It's been something I've been called my whole life, and I never really liked it. It felt like an insult always. I get that it's not necessarily intended that way, but a woman doesn't really desire to be intimidating unless you're in a situation where you want to be intimidating, but not when you're trying to love people. It doesn't feel good. But it is part of my personality, and I know this, and I understand it to a deeper level now. What's really happening is I don't give a fuck what people think. Don't give a shit. Never really did. Don't care. I'm here to do what I'm here to do, and my kids are on my radar, my clients are on my radar, my legacy and purpose is on my radar, and enjoying the shit out of life is on my radar. And if you're gonna try to get in my way of that, I'm gonna kindly sidestep you and keep moving my little butt right beyond past you. And that's it. It's really completely irrelevant to me. And I know that creates an air of untouchability, and I have just come to accept that that's what it is. I am a bit untouchable. But the reason I'm untouchable isn't because I think I'm better than people, or because of some scarring inside of me, or because I've got my walls up, or all the stuff that people have told me. It's because I know who the hell I am and what I'm here to do, and I am lit the fuck up about it. I'm just excited about doing what I'm here to do on this planet, and I feel like I have days left. It feels like I'm going to be 95 in 4 seconds, and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling, so I'm here to do what I'm here to do. I'm going to reach as many people as I possibly can. I am going to show up as big as I possibly can for you. I'm going to do everything within my human power, and then tap into the other powers the best that I can learn how to give everything that I have on this planet to everybody who crosses my path, or who resonates, or who can hear my voice really well. And for my kids, and for all my friends, and for my family, I'm going to do the very best that I can do, and I'm going to leave the rest of it as it lays. That's it. We can't ask for anything else besides the very best that we can do. But the problem is most of us are really not giving our very best. And if I'm being really honest, most of the time I'm not giving my very best. And I have to consistently be around people who remind me to do better. You have more in you. This is not even almost your best. You're just getting warmed up. This is child's play. This is so hard. No, it's not. Shut the hell up. You know it's not. Shut up. Now get off your ass and let's go. It's time to lock into the thing that's going to light you up and bring your purpose to this planet and see what you're freaking made of. You don't want to be the person who's 95 looking back and be like, I wonder what could have been. I wonder who I could have helped. I wonder how my kids' lives would have been different. I wonder how my marriage or my love life would have been different. I wonder how many more orgasms I could have had. Let's be real. You know some old people are asking that like, oh, I definitely should have had way more orgasms. I don't know. This is just what's coming out of my mouth. It is what it is. A part of life. It's the challenges that we face that we have the opportunity for growth and learn more ourselves. Yes! Needed to hear this. So glad, Marlene. So glad you're here and this reached you. Quitting is never an option. Crystal, you are such an embodiment of that, sister. High five. Boom. Yes. Starting to see those things. It's so much easier to see in others, but not ourselves. It is so true. But you will learn to see it in yourselves, and you'll learn to actually start to predict even in yourself, right? Like I can sense when a breakthrough is coming on. It's when I used to get sick. So for 2 years, when a breakthrough was happening, when it was just about to break through something and it was like all the tension was on, I would get sick every time because I was trying to escape it. I wanted to get out of it, right? And I didn't know why I kept getting sick. I just knew I kept getting sick. And so I had this story where I would look for evidence that it's all about to fall apart, which would have been yesterday before me. It would have been like, oh yeah, of course this is happening because I'm right in the middle of a huge up level in my business. Everything's breaking through and skyrocketing. My clients are getting massive results and everybody's loving on each other so big and there's such a buzz and a massive, powerful energy in my business. Of course something like this would happen. And then I was like, no, that's not what it is. This is just life. This is one of those days in life where the day sucks and now another day like that's not going to happen for a while. Probably not for like another year or 7, hopefully. That would be fantastic. But that's it. Those days happen. There's nothing else to it. And I don't need to escape anything. Nothing. JCTFD. Been there, did it on Facebook Live. There's nothing I can do that can be worse than that. Yes, agreed. When we check that one off the list, we're good. What do they call it? Eat the frog. Please call out if you ever think I am getting there. I know I have a lot more work, but I want to cross that vision line. Oh, Lee, I do. Listen, one of my mottos and what I teach my clients is we always say the thing in our head. Think about it for a second. Could you imagine knowing that you hired someone who's been through what you're going through and has results on the other side? So they've already walked this out. Now they see that you say something and they're like, that doesn't make sense. That's not really adding up. Or like, she's about to quit. Or like, she's wobbling. And I ask my clients, like I say some blunt shit to my clients because I love you. If I already have that wisdom and that skill and I already have that experience and I have something going through my head, if I'm not telling you, I'm not serving you well. That's that. I say really blunt shit to my clients. Like, okay, I'm about to love you. We're putting big girl panties on right now or we're going to the fly zone, right? Like this is what it is. And they know it's because I love them, right? And so I see someone coming to that place. And, you know, like there's times when people will quit and I'll ask, like, I ask permission first, like, if you're really clear about this, like, let me just see what you need and send you with love on your way. But, you know, if you'd like to dig into this, I do see some mischief going on if you'd like to dig into it. And sometimes we get in there and they open up and they see it and they push through, which is exactly what I'm here for. And then other times they're just like, no, they're shut. I could feel energetically they're shut. They've stopped. They've on their face right before the finish line. And I have zero judgment of that because I don't know that that's not exactly what's supposed to look like in their journey. I've had moments where I fell right on my face. I mean, you can't not fall on your face. So there's no judgment that I have, but I'm not going to just not say anything. That's for damn sure. I'm going to poke around to make sure that there's no mischief going on here or to see if you're ready to launch that next level. And all you needed was some love and support. So many times, all my clients need is just 20 minutes of coaching. That's it. And they right up to that finish line. Over and over and over and over, they'll break through or they'll go through that crossroad. And maybe that crossroad brings them through another path where the finish line is still a ways off, but they just keep on going. And that's all we needed was some, you know, maybe even a tribe, like in some of my containers where we're just loving on each other, supporting each other. And they just needed that, other people doing the same thing. And, you know, they got people in their regular life telling them, this is crazy and what are you doing? And you can't do that. But I know, I was that girl. They were all saying that to me. Everybody thought I was friggin' nuts. They don't think I'm nuts no more, right? But I needed people who were doing this work and understood and said to me like, no, you're good. You're right on track. Keep going. I needed that. And there were so many pivotal times where I just needed, if people had any understanding the breakthrough that you will have with a mentor who already has the result that you're looking for, any idea, like it doesn't happen in a vacuum. You can't change your entire life and leave an impact on the planet from the thinking that you currently have. Like you have to be able to rewire your perception of things, what you believe is available for you. Like I remember when I just thought the greatest thing on the planet was making $400 a week. Like I thought, oh my God, it doesn't get any better than this. $400 a week, I'm like rich. Like I really thought that. And until I started when I started nannying and seeing how other people lived and started, oh, that's how much they make. Like, oh, this is what a life's like if you make $200,000 a year. Like, oh. And then all of a sudden $200,000 a year seemed kind of possible. Then I was around people making, $1 million a year and I was like, oh, $1 million a year started to feel possible. Then I'm around people making $1 million a month. That one still doesn't really feel possible for me. But the more I'm around that, the more it will feel possible. And that's the same as true energetically. That's the same as what's true of possibility. All of the kind of things. It's not just money. It's all of it. So we have to stay together. That's why I say, when I say we do this together, I really mean we do this together. Because I can't do it alone and you can't do it alone. That's what it is. End of story. And the people in haunted houses psychologically fuck with you. I took my son and we had a laugh at them. Yeah, you're that girl, not me. I'm not that girl. If my ex ever heard the story, he would tell you guys the real stuff that happened. It was terrible. It was awful. hell yes on the max out and then go through growth. Very true, but you always get through every single time. Jennifer is one of my private clients. That girl, this is what I said to her the last time on the call. I'm like, girl, you leave no stone unturned. She's unbelievable. Celebrations for Jennifer. Hell yes. My people are amazing. Inspire me every second of my life. Money does not solve your problems. It only solves your money problems. That's it. Nothing else. That was heartbreaking. And I understand why a lot of wealthy people get super depressed and why they end up committing suicide. Like, there's so many things that make sense now. Why people go off the deep end if they win the mega bucks or, millions of dollars, or why wealthy people kill themselves and all these kind of things, why famous people kill themselves. Like, it all makes sense now when I never used to understand, but yeah. Because when you have all that power and all those riches and it can't fix the things that mean the most to you, but you have a story that it should, you're stuck, you're trapped. It's like pure suffocation. It's like there's no oxygen in the room at all. You cannot breathe. Oh, it's one of the most painful things that I went through. And luckily I had already learned, the art of surrender pretty well. Surrender is powerful. Being able to surrender to what is and exhale. Like, even like during dating, if something happens or I get hurt or something, like there's this exhale I do that it's like, oh, there it is. The second I exhale, it's like I know I just locked into surrender, to full, pure surrender. There's nothing left. I exhale and I release it and it's gone and it feels so good. I'm not saying all the tears are done crying or, the waves of pain aren't there, but it's like, it's gone. I can exhale it and really surrender to it. And I feel like that's one of my most powerful things. Crying too. Crying is definitely one of my most powerful ones. Mandy, what's the most powerful thing that you do? Girl, I cry a lot. I cry. I just let it all out. I do not hold it back anywhere for anyone. If I need to cry, I just cry. And that was not who I used to be. It was only a couple years ago I cried in front of my kids for the first time ever in my whole life. And then all of a sudden, I was having a panic attack. My ex used to get upset if I didn't go to his family functions, and I was like trying to learn boundaries in the beginning when my business was really starting to take off and I was running events. And I had a really bad panic attack and I just started crying because I was like, two worlds pulling at me at the same time. Like, I knew I had to set a boundary, but I didn't know how. And I was so done with the rule that I had to do things or people would all hate me. And I remember he said something to me like, my family's all going to hate you. And he was coming from a loving place. Like, he was trying to protect me from drama. But, of course it didn't land that way. And I had a big old panic attack. I started crying and both my kids saw me. And all of a sudden, both of them went and started cleaning. And I remember thinking like, shit, why didn't I do this so long ago? Like, they both just turned around and started cleaning. I wasn't even upset about the house being messy or anything. It was hilarious. Like, it's one of my favorite memories for whatever reason. I know it's a weird story, but it's like one of my favorite. I just remember seeing the look on their face and they just started cleaning. And I was just like, I need to do this every day. Just have a meltdown every day. And the kids will go clean. Everybody will do what they freaking need to do. All of a sudden, the ex-husband is like leaving me alone. He's like, okay, I got this. Don't worry. I'm going to take care of the family. The kids are cleaning. I'm like, oh, that's all I needed to do? Who needs drugs? Nobody needs drugs. Oh my God. Yes, Danielle, I clench and then almost in the same moment, I make that decision to do the hardest thing in that moment. That is leading yourself, sister. That is leadership right there. That is, I will go first. I will do the hard work. I do it so my kids don't have to. And I do it so I can support other women to do the same or other human beings to do the same. We go first. We lead the way. That's what leadership is. That is leadership, sister. Hashtag leadership, Danielle. Hi, Stefan. How are you, brother? Gotta be like the Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. Oh, I tried to watch that, but it was rather violent. So I didn't watch too much of it. It looked good though, if I could have handled it, but I just am kind of sensitive to that stuff. Like, I just not like violence. That's the first step, getting safe in our being so we can show up with all of us. Yes. Yes, tribe. Doing it until. Hashtag yes, untouchable. It is, like, being untouchable feels really good. And of course, I don't mean truly untouchable, but I really, really don't care what people think at all. And I know, like, I'll be there and I'll be aware that someone thinks something really screwed up and I know how wrong they are. And I'm just like, you could not be further from the truth. Let's say people say I'm obsessed with money. Like, oh, Mandy, you're bragging about your money. And I'm like, okay. That person really does believe that I'm bragging about money. They really do. Or like someone who made a comment the other day on Rebecca's testimonial, how she made $30K the first month working with me. On that testimonial, someone posted below and they were talking about how basically he he didn't say swindle. He said some other word, like we con people, or he used a different word. But, I was talking to Rebecca off of it on the back end because she's in one of my high-end groups. And, basically I was just like, he really believes that though. Like he started out good. He was asking questions and I would have loved on him. I would have kept dropping questions to him. I mean, you can go to someone's Facebook page and tell if they're poor. That is what it is, right? Like you oftentimes you can. And you could tell like he grew up into like he was a rough kid, but he was smart and he was asking smart questions at first. And I was like, ooh, like this is good. Like I will totally just love on him and download and answer his questions. And then by like question 3, he was like, screw you guys. You're just like, swindling people or whatever word he used. And I was like, nah. Like I would have kept answering his questions. I really would have. But that's what he really believes. Like, and I remember one client, she threatened me. She was in a group program and she wanted one-on-ones and she was threatening me and I told her no. And then she went and told, we call her Debbie Downer. I feel like that's kind of me, but she kind of deserves it. So then she kind of went and started trashing my ex-husband and she started trashing me and she went on my business page, which still affected it. She gave me like a 1 star and it's still like a 4.8 because of her. I just don't care. What was my point about Debbie Downer? I just had like a flood of memories come back about her. Oh, right. Like she said that I basically preyed on weak people. Like I would find people who were struggling financially and I would prey on them. Like I would purposely manipulate them to get them to give me money. And I could tell she really believed it. Like she believed that shit. And like, I'm aware that people thought, oh, Mandy made money and that's why she asked for a divorce. Or, oh, Mandy bought a Chanel, so she only cares about, superficial stuff. Or Mandy's talking about money and she's bragging about how much money she made. I know people think this stuff. I just don't give a shit. Because that's their problem. Look, I am one of the most loving, open people on the entire planet that I know. And I don't say that to brag, I'm saying it because it's just the facts. Like, that's what it is. Like, I love people and I just want to help the most that I possibly ever can. I just want to help people and love on people. And I want to call them to more. Like, there was a friend that was close to me and he wanted access to like my back-end programs. And at first I agreed and then it felt super out of integrity. And then I didn't because I realized he has a huge calling in this planet. I think the world of him. I think he's incredibly powerful and super loving. His people love him. And that is not serving him to give him free access. He is not going to take that shit seriously. He's going to hear it with half ears and that shit is not going to land. And I felt super convicted about it and I took it back away. And I know what he thinks. He thinks that was scarcity and that was like me being selfish and greedy. And I just had to let him think that. He'll learn that a different way, but he'll learn it when he's invested and he hears it. And I know that's the way he has to. And I follow my convictions and I just don't give a shit. Like people are going to think what they're going to think. I don't have any control over that. And quite frankly, I hold them as responsible for navigating that because if you were presented in my world, there's probably an availability for you to be able to scale within my energy and to calibrate to the results that I have and to earn the kind of income I have and have the level of impact and languaging and clarity about what you are and your purpose in the world, any of those kind of things, right? That's my planet. So if any of those things are what you desire, then and you were led to my container, there's a good reason for it. And I hold you as able to stay open to that. So if you shut down and you push away and you start getting triggered and scared and run away, I hold you as able for, and I hold you as responsible for the results that you have in your own life. You're a free ass person and nothing is going to override your free will. I'm certainly not. If God doesn't, I'm not going to. He's not going to override your free will. If you say, oh, I'm not worthy of this, so be it. You're not worthy of it. I mean, that's what it is. Nobody's coming to rescue you. It's time for you to start claiming what you deserve and who you are and what your message is and what your power is and who you're here to impact and how big your legacy is going to be. You have to step into that. You have to opt into that yourself. Nobody's going to get you to do it. Nobody's going to, push you. Nobody's going to, convince you. Nobody's going to rescue you. Like, none of that shit is real. If you got convinced, it's because you wanted to get convinced because you were looking for a damn shortcut. And that's on you too. It's all on you because it's all on me, right? It's all on us. Like, we're responsible for all of these kind of things. And I see my people as incredibly powerful people with tons of wisdom and tons of strength and clarity. And I hold you as able to be able to tap into that and use it. And that if you don't know how to, that you will have the humility to ask, right? Like, it doesn't feel like humility to me to ask. It feels like I'm being selfish, if I'm being really honest. But I get that for a lot of people, it feels like humility to ask questions that feel stupid. It feels like we have to have humility. For some of us, if you're anything like me, it doesn't feel like humility. It feels like desperation. Just give me the answers. I just ask all the questions all of the time, and I'm just really okay with that. Thanks for the love hearts. Lock in. This is a skill to lock in this stuff. Yes. Oops. I almost invited Kelly onto the camera. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yes. And is what you have done for me. Love your. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I love you too. I get to see you soon. Oh, yeah. We still have a couple spots open. 3 spots, I think, for the live event, November 22nd and 23rd. And it's breaking through any pattern or starting to begin to do anything that you haven't been able to get yourself to break through. If you're interested, just PM me. Oftentimes, it's here in Sarasota, Florida. Oftentimes, the moments we fall on our face are the times that we get our biggest breakthrough. We may not just realize the breakthrough. Yes, Danielle. Oh my God, my tribe's on fire today. Hashtag together, magic pill for cleaning, just cry, have a freaking meltdown. Like my clients are like, sorry, I'm gonna cry. I'm like, what the fuck are you apologizing for? Girl, cry, let it out. All of it, all the tears, just let it out. It's like so cleansing, it's so good. They're just emotions, they're not that big of a deal. You're not caring about others' thoughts is what really draws me to you. That's untouchable. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it is something that's quite natural for me. I remember my ex saying to me that I couldn't teach people how to not care what people thought because I never struggled with it, because it was always just easy for me. And if I never struggled, I can't teach people about it. And I bought into that for a little while. We didn't know shit back then. But obviously we learned and outgrew that. And now I understand, like, no, if you understand how I think, if you just, when you come into my containers or you're here on a Facebook Live and you're engaging with me, what you're doing is you're calibrating to the way that I think right now. Like you're hearing new concepts, you're hearing a new way of thinking. The more I teach you how I think, that leads me to the place where I don't care what people think, the more you will begin to think like me, which means the more you'll be able to have the result of not caring what people think, just like me. I never needed to struggle with it in order to be able to teach it, because the way that I currently think gets me the results that you're looking for. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's all coaching is. It took me a while, it took me a couple of years to understand and learn, like, that's what's really happening, is we're calibrating to the way people think and to their energy. Like, we're calibrating to the way that they show up in life in all the different ways, so that you can have that same lifestyle or result or impact or sensation in your body or whatever the thing is that we're looking for. You are definitely so loving. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you. That means a lot. Nobody's coming to rescue you. We are responsible. Yes, I think I finally tapped into that responsibility when I said yes to hashtag together. This all makes me so very excited. So, what is the wrap up here? We covered a lot in this live. By the way, just so you know, I was laying in bed and I was like, yesterday was a tough day. I have my monthly friend right now and I was like, I don't want to do Facebook Live. I'm just going to hop on and be like, oh, a reminder about the live event or the program coming up. And then I was just like, what would I want to talk about that would give me energy? And I was like, this. And then here we are, freaking how long later? And I really was just like, oh, I'll hop on for 5 seconds. Just so you know, that's how I felt right before this live. It's just a feeling. It passes really quick. Okay, so the wrap up here is, the standard is we do not quit before the finish line. The awareness or experience that I want you to have right now, if you had my experience in life, and you would have this wisdom. And what I want you to understand is you're gonna, I've never said it like this. You're gonna have to go into debt in order to make this work. I have a few people who are like, no, I'm just gonna generate everything. You're gonna scale really slow then. You gotta be willing to take some risks. And it doesn't have to look like debt if you can come up with some other really clever thing, but I'm telling you, there's gonna be some calculated risks going on. There's gonna be actual risk taking to make this happen. Life is rigged for the brave and the bold. You're gonna require risk. You're gonna have to invest. You're gonna have to leap before you feel ready. You're gonna have to hire the people before you feel ready. You're gonna have to say the thing before it feels safe. You're gonna have to call your people to it before you feel like the expert. All of these things are required of you. And as you're doing all of these things, way before you feel ready, it's going to feel like tension, and it's gonna feel like you want to quit. And it's gonna feel like, well, what if I can't do this? What if I'm fucking this up? What if I'm just putting myself in debt and I never get out of it? What if? Yeah, well, what if you were just about to launch into a $500,000 a year and you were about to change tens of thousands of lives, and you didn't, because you quit at that moment, because you thought, this is as far as I can go before it gets dangerous, so I'm going to stop right here. And just 2 more steps ahead, you would have broken through. Because it's not possible that you won't break through. You will break through. We do it until. The reason you will break through is because you're deciding you're doing it until. The standard is, I do it until. There is not an option that it's not happening. It's not an option. Like, it's just not a thing that's real. I will. It's like if I'm starving to death, I will find a way to eat food. That's it. I will, there's a way that I can eat food. I will come up with some really clever shit that I didn't come up with when I wasn't hungry, when I'm starving. Like, that's the way it is. When you need to figure out what you need to do, you will be a different human being then with different levels of motivation. And when you're locked into your passion and your purpose and your vision and your values, when you're locked into that and your money stories are backing it, you're good. You're safe. So we JCTFD. That's what we do. Hashtag I will. That's right, brother. If anyone hasn't checked out Stefan, check him out. He's an up and coming for sure. He's absolutely brilliant. Some of the stuff that comes out of this man's mouth is on point. Love him to pieces. I would definitely, Stefan Balak, you can check him out. He's in my tribe right there. He's doing the daily Facebook Lives. And the rest of the people in my daily Facebook Lives, man, these people are incredible. So don't forget in the search bar you can do hashtag Brave Live Day whatever. We're on day 4 or 5. I forgot to put it in mine. Deciding to do it until. That's right, Marlene. Anybody else deciding to do it until? Feel free to drop that in the comments. Saying it out loud matters. Like literally saying it out loud really does matter. I'm doing this until. I decided the standard is I'm doing it until. I will not quit before the finish line. I will take risk in this business. I'm doing this. That's it. End of story. Whatever it takes is what it takes. I don't care if I gotta, and this will trigger people, I think. Hopefully it doesn't. I don't care if I gotta go bankrupt 17 times. I'm getting there. I'm doing it until. Whatever that actually looks like, I will do this until I die. I'm doing it until. And if I wouldn't do it until I die, you're not doing the right thing. You're not locked into your vision, your passion, your purpose. Because there's nothing that would stop me. There's no money or debt or anything else that would stop me from doing what I'm doing. If I was going through a bankruptcy right now and I had absolutely nothing, I would be doing this Facebook Live from some kind of cafe somewhere, sipping on decaf coffee that's cold that someone gave to me because I asked for quarters while I'm doing a Facebook Live because I found a way to pay for my cell phone bill, or I'm locked into their free Wi-Fi at the cafe. Like, I would still be doing this. It might be a very different topic, but I would still be doing this. Yes, he is. Look at all the girls loving on him. He's amazing. He really is. The rest of the people in my tribe are really incredible too. He just has a particular voice that I think is pretty unique that people need to check out. Okay, so if you're interested in the Life on Fire program, PM me. We start November 12th. I'm going to the Tony Robbins UPW event. So I might change that to the 13th. I gotta look at the dates on when I'll be back. But I think that that's still correct. I think it's the 12th. And then if you're interested in the live event, that's November 22nd, 23rd, right here in downtown Sarasota. PM me, I'll give you the information for that. And if you're interested in doing the All Access Pass, that is the most valuable thing that I could possibly offer. That is $1,000 a month with access to every online thing that I do, including the upcoming Life on Fire group, or the Diamond Mastermind, which you get. If you're interested in my Diamond Mastermind, just PM me. I'll tell you the details about that. And then I have 2 spots left for one-on-one coaching, which is 50 minutes of one-on-ones every week, including access to everything I do. So if you're interested in any of this stuff, let me know. Just PM me. You guys are making my heart blush. Thank you. See? Do you see how we just worded that? Right? He just got away with words. I said this today. Don't know where or when, but I'm not quitting. That's right, sister. Yes, love his voice. Yeah. Stefan, all the way until, brother. You got this. I love you guys so much. Okay, if you feel you got value from this video, or if you feel like somebody else might get some value from this video, feel free to tag them or share this on your page. It would be much appreciated. I love you guys very much. Have a fantastic night, and I will see you mañana, or I will see you in my messenger. I love you guys. Sharon, seriously, thank you for all the hearts. You're so amazing. It just makes me feel so loved when I see the love bubbles, the heart bubbles going off over there. It's my favorite thing ever. And you must know that. All right, love you guys. Have a great night.